It's Friday, my dudes.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Well, it doesn't work. Whatever. Good morning, happy Friday. TGIF, everybody. It's kind of a weird morning for me. I woke up feeling a little nauseous. Got dressed, came down here, sat down, got ready to get stuff started, and thought, guess I'm going to need to go throw up. Went upstairs, threw up, came back down feeling fine. I don't know. 'Tis weird. But welcome to the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey. And I am joined right now by one of my very good friends and co-hosts, Mr. Zachary Zabala. You may know him on the YouTubes as Good Times for All. We lovingly refer to him as Too Nice for Rice. Zach, how the hell are you doing?
Hey, Josh. Hey, everybody out there at TFR land. Not bad. What are you getting pregnant on us?
Something must be. I'm not going to discount that possibility.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I'm sure we've all had that. That's one of the worst. It's like you want to throw up when, I don't know. It's weird. That morning thing. And then, like you said, you just feel fine. After it's done, it's like, okay, I don't know what that was. Probably something you ate.
Could be. It's quite possible.
Yeah.
I had Culver's last night for dinner, though. That should
There
be.
you.
I guess it has been a while since I've had any Culver's. Maybe that was it. It's quite possible.
Wendy's used to do it to me bad.
Me too, actually.
Yeah. Wendy's late at night. It was like, yeah, horrible. Well, I see we've been joined
We have.
by our other partner in crime.
Well, Mr. Walter Johnson. You may know him on the YouTubes as Flat Earth Head. Walt, how you doing? How you sounding? How you feeling?
Who knows at this point? Fiat Lux, gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't even know if you're hearing me. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. You sound good.
I did some replugging and unplugging and deplugging and unplugging and replugging, and everything's plugged. So let's plug on.
I think you got it.
Good morning, everybody out there in the tubes and the lives and the Twitches and the faces and
Tweeters.
twits. And is that it?
I think that's it. Plus YouTubes and TFR.
And of course, I'm going to say, of course, our home away from home, TFR. What else?
I see Al Fuckery in chat asking if TFR is down. And in all honesty, I'm not even in the vault yet, so I couldn't tell you. But I hope not. But if it is, that's exactly why we do our multi-streaming. Because sometimes the TFR servers do go down. They get updated, and things no longer work together. So if for some reason it's not streaming, feel free to check out our other platforms, because that's probably where we're going to be. Dawn says maybe I just got up too fast.
Oops, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Dawn in chat said maybe I just woke up too fast. And it's possible, but I'm usually a pretty quick riser. I'm kind of a morning guy, so it's being a fast awakening shouldn't do anything. That's pretty typical. I sleep like a rock, but then once I'm up, by God, I'm up. What were you going to say, Walter?
I was going to say, and it stinks to find people like Hal Fuckery contributing, are contributing, I guess, depending on your emphasis. But thank you, Hal Fuckery, for helping us be on all those other places in addition to our lovely placing there on the TFR site. So it's thanks to contributions from fine people like you.
That's right. To all of our patrons and Iron Scouts alike.
Brain is not working, sorry.
It's just one of those mornings. It's a damn lazy Friday morning.
Well, I'm definitely discombobulated because we've been doing the roller coaster of, is the storm coming? Is it not? Is it turning? Is it not? Is it really going to bear down on us like they originally said or not? So that's been part of my energy, being a little hectic and crazy, unfortunately.
And that will do it. I heard
but
that
it looks like we're okay here in Franklin anyway. Now, other places are going to get it just like last time. And for some reason, if it doesn't hit New Orleans, you don't hear about it on the news. But literally, Lake Charles just getting water back and lights in some places, and they're about to get hit again, pretty much. So lots of energy and positivity needed there in Lake Charles and other places, Lafayette, places in Texas border, just everybody that's in the path. Definitely send them lots of help. It's going to be rough, even if it's not the Category 3 they originally thought.
That's the one thing I loved so much about northern Indiana. Was there was no hurricanes, there was no earthquakes. We were supposedly in the tornado belt, but having so many rivers around northern Indiana there, the Tippy, the Kankakee, and all those, for some reason, the tornadoes didn't like to cross the rivers. So as long as you were like north of the rivers, you were okay there. And then Lake Michigan was on the north side of that, so not too many tornadoes started up in there. I don't know. It was like a real safe place to be when it came to natural wonders, natural. I don't know what I have to look forward to down here. Is there anything crazy that happens in Carolina?
I don't know. I'm sure you could get some weather coming in off the coast. I just don't know if you're talking.
I was going to say, I know there's been a time or two they've curved around and come in right there, so you may not be out of the clear, friend. You may not get it as regular as we do down here, but yeah, there's been a time or two it's curved up and around and hit in there. How they went up to New York, didn't it? And flooded the streets of New York at one point. Was it Mayor somebody?
Yeah, I'm like,
Christie from Jersey, wasn't he saving the day? I don't remember. It's too long ago.
Oh, I do remember that. Chris Christie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The hero of the day. All right, I finally got onto the YouTube. Onto the TFR thing. So I see everybody there. Hi, everybody there. Now I'm going to go over to the YouTube. Man, this is a Friday for the ages, for sure.
Big shout out to Doc Michael over there in D Live as well. Wondering what the hell he's doing over there. I tell you what, Doc.
Nice.
There's not too many people over there on D Live.
You're lost over there, Doc. Good to see you. Help people find their way over there. Bring them some lemons. I don't know what they do.
All right. Click back over.
So how are your nerves doing now, Josh? Now that things are moving along, things settled down?
A little bit. Let's see. So the house that we bought, it opened on Sunday. We drove by it on Saturday before it was open. It opened on Sunday with an open house. We made an offer on Monday, at which time it was accepted. By Tuesday, the wife had all the paperwork in to the loan officer. And then yesterday was the inspection. So we're getting the ball rolling. We're rolling on down the road with it. There's a couple things. Looks like the back deck might need to be reinforced. There were some loose bricks in the front of the house that had pulled away from the wall and gotten some water down in there, gotten a little bit of water damage. But because those were all over $500 fixes, those will be the responsibility of the seller, not us. We agreed to do the stuff under $5, as long as they did the stuff over $5. And then we still have a occupancy inspection to come through. So the house will probably need some things like smoke detectors and a couple hand railings and things like that. But again, I think that's going to be the seller's responsibility, because those are things for an occupancy that they would need to do regardless of who bought it. So I don't know. We'll see. It's looking pretty good. It's trying to get excited. There's lots of potential. I'm gonna make the damn best of it. That's what we'll do. But so far, so good. We'll see. We could still have a closing date anywhere from 45 to 25 days. We'll see. We shall see.
It will be better than the current situation.
Right, exactly. That's why I was unmuting, to say, well, dude, anything it seems to be an improvement on what you're dealing with. And I know it's not what you hoped for, but it's definitely, I'm excited, dude. I'm really excited for you. So,
well, we came in under budget.
It's a good thing that you're not super overexcited.
Probably so. Probably allows me to maintain a bit of perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of getting all, emotionally involved in this.
Like we were for the first two houses we put an offer in on. Right. And given that we wanted privacy and we wanted some land and we didn't want a whole lot of neighbors, it's only an acre, but it's a wooded acre. There's room for dogs. The neighbors aren't right up on us. And again, we came in under budget. So once you start factoring in her checklists and my checklists for the house, the creator did a pretty damn good job of trying to cover everybody's checklists and still get us in under budget with a decent house. So there's not a damn thing I get to complain about, because we have been guided through this whole time. And for that, I'm much appreciative. So we shall see what the future holds.
That's a good way to look at it, man.
that's the best thing. That's just like this week. We hoped for the best and prepared for the worst. And even though I probably have way too much water stacked in the corner now for nothing, it's going to get used. And, so it's better to have it and need it, and have it not need it, than need it and not have it. I don't know.
True.
I heard a guy talking about he's put on 20 pounds this year, eating all his hurricane snack.
Exactly. Between the freaking pandemic shutdown and the hurricane snacking, I probably put on a good 30 myself. Because that's what you do when you go to the hurricane. When you go hurricane prep, you go to the water aisle and to the snack aisle. Then you start worrying about canned goods and anything important.
Beans and rice. Fuck that. I need Doritos.
Yeah, that's right, man. Where's those Twinkies? So,
Give me a ho-ho.
Ho-ho. Hey, hey, ho. Ho, hey, hey. Anyway. Well, good morning to everybody in chat now that I'm finally over there on the tube. I see Lucas was there technically first, Nuka, even though you said you were first. Nuka called me this morning, woke me up. No, I'm kidding. I was up, but I was not a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed dude. Good morning to you, Frank. Glad you were there this morning. Finally worked out my audio, I think. We'll see. D'Angelo's here. Diva's here. Who else? Oh, Alan. Love you, Alan. Glad you're here, my friend. Uh-oh, I have frozen my chat up. Why is it not moving? Oh, because I've scrolled somewhere else. Doc Michael, we saw him, and now he's back because he didn't dig it over at D-Live, so he's back hanging out over here on YouTube. Yeah, that seems to be the meeting ground of late, for sure. Have I missed somebody? I know I did. We said hey to Kelly. That's how fuckery to you and me. Liz, the Iron Maiden. I knew I missed somebody. Daz, Tartarian himself. Michael Kilpatrick's there. Have I missed anybody? Robert Page. Okay. Oh, Anders Ace. Anders Ace. Am I saying that right? Probably right. Maybe Dawn's here. Yes, Dawn's there. Now, Liz asked a question, and I want to get this clarified because it's an interesting story. She wants me to tell the story about Skillet. Okay, so Zach was camping. Where were you when the cat approached you, dude? Were you still in another state, or you were in Louisiana by that point?
Louisiana, next to a shooting range.
Well, why don't you tell how you acquired the beginning part, and then we'll transfer it to my story. It's a two-parter for you, Liz.
All right. I was heading towards Walt's house from Josh's house on my walkabout. And I stopped at a state park that had a shooting range there. And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I'll, go pop off a couple rounds. I pull in, and there's nobody there. There's one trailer that doesn't have any vehicle. It wasn't like a drive-up trailer. It was a pull behind. And it was just sitting out there. Nobody came in or out of it. We were the only two people in this whole big giant. It was like 3 or 4 football fields long. Probably 2 wide. Just this big open area. And I got the tent set up and everything. Me and Hank are just sitting there. And this little cat, Hank went and chased it up the tree. I was like, oh man, what the heck? So I pulled my truck over there because I couldn't get up on my truck, get him out of the tree. Hank and I start hanging with him, just petting him like, what are you doing here, man? What's going on? He was starving, gave him some food, some water. And then, kind of let him go on his way, ate dinner and all that, laid down. Well, like 2 a.m, I hear psh, 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 him scratching on the tent trying to get in. Like, oh, geez, do I do this? Yeah, I can't leave him out there. Bring him in, fall in love. Hank and I are getting ready to leave, and I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm like, man, I left him some food and some water and stuff. I was like, man, I started pulling away, and I was like, nope, I can't do it. I went and picked him up. Brought him over to Walt's house. Go ahead, Walt. You take it from there.
So they get here, and he immediately makes himself home by relieving himself in my, what is that plant that I have back there? Cotton tree? Whatever it's called. Anyway, it's the big tall tree in the corner with the big potted plant. So he went in there. Then he went in there again. And by the 3rd time he went in there behind Michelle's chair, we realized he wasn't going to be able to hang out with us easily. So unless we were going to figure out a way to train him to be an inside-outside cat or deal with a litter box, just wasn't going to work out. The good part is my landlord had about 10 cats, probably, him and his woman, his wife. No, they were not married yet. Anyway, so they were taking him in. So when they took him in, she, for some reason, decided that the cat's name would be Panther Baby. Because it was a black cat, I guess. Panther Baby was the cat's name. Now, that's a strange name to me, even, and I've had some strange cat names. So they had Panther Baby, and Panther Baby stayed over there, and that was Panther Baby's house until the last season grinding happened, and suddenly when grinding starts here and the sugar mill fires up, all the rats that stay in the sugar mill when it's closed down for the season spread out, and they head to all the other houses in this neighborhood. No matter whose house it is, they deal with it. So I was tired of having to worry about traps and poisons and all that. So I thought, hey, let's go natural and get the cat back over here. Every time I would go to the house over there to see my landlord, he's a friend of mine, so I would go hang out for hours. The cat loved me, all over my legs. Obviously, we were friends from the day when he got here. So awesome. Get him back over here. Well, Michelle really wasn't thrilled with the name that he had been bequeathed. So rather than call him Panther Baby, she decided she would call him Pan. And in the text, she said, I'm going to call him Pan, ... like the god. And so I sent back, oh, not like the skillet. And so now he's been skillet since then. But anyway, the story is done.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, he was a little cutie.
Um,
We got about, 5 minutes to the first break?
Thereabouts. Well, 6.5-ish.
Oh, 6-ish, but that's quicker than I thought. Feels like I just got here. Because I did. Sorry about all the rough start.
It's all right. We knew we'd get it worked out. There's something here I do want to try. Just kind of curious.
I had to battle half my team thinking the Earth is flat this year, and they think we've never been to the moon and all kinds of crazy stuff. We've got a bunch of flat earthers.
I imagine it makes for interesting clubhouse conversation.
So Carpenter, yes, flat earther. Carlos Martinez, definitely a flat earther. Dottie's more of a round earth.
Smartest guy on the team, Paul DeYoung, is a flat earther. Never seen it.
Paul DeYoung, guy who actually does like NASA-like investigations into his swing.
Mm-hmm. And I have a really good friend who is
St. Louis Cardinals. I saw this story get dropped in our show prep and was completely surprised. This coming out of CBSSports.com. Adam Wainwright, who was the guy we heard talking, Adam Wainwright says half of his Cardinals teammates believe the earth is flat during an NLDS broadcast. In the top of the 8th inning, Braves beatdown of the Marlins, Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright decided to do what any good broadcaster would do and try to fill dead air during a blowout. Wainwright, who's been in the booth for Fox Sports coverage of the Atlanta-Miami NLDS series, told a story about his past season that involved his teammates' conspiratorial beliefs. Most notably, the pitcher said on the broadcast that he had to, quote, battle half my team, end quote, whether the earth was flat. He also threw in, almost as an aside, that there was also doubts about the moon landing. Let's see what this one says. If this is just a... Oh, yeah, it's the same damn thing. All right.
Man, I might be a sports ball fan now.
Right?
That is crazy.
So the question I have then is how many of these St. Louis Cardinal baseball players listened to Dave Glover's show a couple years ago and were introduced to the idea that the earth was flat by yours truly? Because as far as I know, there weren't any other local loud and proud flat earthers in St. Louis before a few years ago. I don't know there would be a single flat earther on the Cardinal baseball team were it not for myself. I'm just saying.
That's awesome. You should reach out. Say, hey, remember me?
Well, you know, I consider that. It might not be a bad idea. Even if I link my Dave Glover stuff to them, just to let them know that, look, I understand you're getting into this flat earth stuff, but there's people here in St. Louis that have been at it for quite a while. Yeah. And we'd love to have you on our little shows.
The smartest man on the team is a flat earther.
Tom DeYoung.
He said that flat out.
Yep.
Smartest man on the team. Flat earther. Imagine that. I love it.
I just saw something very random, and it was somebody saying Earth is flat. Now that you say this, and I don't even know where it is, because where did I see that? I just saw this like days ago and was going to put it in show prep, and then things went awry this week. How much time do we have left here? I just realized we're probably creeping into a break.
We got about 3 minutes.
Oops. I thought I could share some sound, but I better not with my issues I'm having. So we'll come back with some music. Unfortunately, if you're a musician, this week was not a great week for you or for anyone in the music world. Eddie Van Halen is gone. Yep. Taken by chemo. As we all know, that's what kills you, not the cancer. So, unfortunately, our regrets, our sympathies to Wolfgang, to Alex, to Valerie, to his family certainly will be missed. If you were at the right age, which I luckily was, if you happen to be a guitarist on top of it, then he definitely jumped into the guitar world with both feet at a time when disco was king. Think about it. This was 78, from 76 to 78, they built what became Van Halen. And when that album hit in 79, disco was king. Like rock guitar was over, and he came back, jumped in with both feet, and brought it back, and it became what the 80s were all about, rock guitar. So certainly will be missed, and we'll play some music here and there. Not the parts of his guitar work that most people don't really know about if you aren't a guitar player, the phenomenal things he did. A lot of the songs were great. A lot of the antics on stage were amazing. He was a nut. He was crazy. He was a goofball on stage, off stage, but definitely the music, just amazing stuff. World-shattering, earth-breaking, true renovation, stuff no one had ever done before, and certainly not in the ways he was doing them. So he will be missed.
Yeah, I think he defined sort of that 80s hair band, hair rock type of stuff. Nobody was doing that type of guitar work before Eddie Van Halen came along. He basically revolutionized rock and roll. That's no small feat.
Yeah, he will be missed.
Brought to the world by all people, Gene Simmons, Moneybags himself. That's actually the guy who said, "Hey, this band rocks," and produced their demo for Ted Templeton. But anyway, wow, I think there is break time now.
So I guess the Skillet video I made, I found Skillet almost exactly 2 years ago.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's wild. The anniversaries all around.
Anyway, I do hear break music, and this has been the first segment of the Ironworx here on Truth Frequency Radio. So stick around, and we'll be right back after these quick messages.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again, so I placed another order because it's the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Your home has needs. It needs a healthy, dry environment all year round. Start by getting rid of the worst air in the basement and crawl space, where the problems begin and make the whole house sick. Introducing the new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. It has advanced technologies to continuously reduce moisture, mold, and odors, and expel radon, gases, and pollutants. And now, Wave units include carbon monoxide detection to automatically expel air at a high rate and send you an alert. It also has an app so you can remotely monitor the conditions. Wave is a comprehensive, maintenance-free, affordable solution that will transform your entire home. Protect your home and family what it needs. Give it a new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. For more information, call 888-717-WAVE. That's 888-717-WAVE. Or go to dryhealthyhome.com. That's dryhealthyhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Thank God it's Friday. Wake up! Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
And welcome back to the Ironworx. Coming in with a little bit of an eruption from Van Halen. R.A.P. Eddie.
Indeed. And Adam, the Adam Egan in chat saying, probably strike one to many for this Friday. Yes, probably so, sir. Most likely. Nice one from a man like me. A man like me? Wow, sure. I thought it was hard. It was real easy. A man like me in chat, thinking that our little buffer music that we play, or we don't, the system plays for us, was thinking it was Greg Howe, but close, but it wasn't. That was Tony McAlpine. I believe it was Tens of Thousands is the solo break there.
That sounds familiar. That sounds right.
Tens of Thousands. I think that's it. Yeah, but I love Greg Howe. Another one of the Tony McAlpine, Greg Howe, some of the neoclassical people that probably wouldn't have happened if Eddie hadn't reinvented the guitar for the 80s. Because as I said, disco had pretty much killed the rock guitar of the 70s. So, but we'll play more of that for you guys later. We're not going to just sit and dwell on it. We'll just celebrate the awesome music that he left behind for us. We might even play some of the keyboard stuff.
How many claims can you get for one video?
Well, we'll find out maybe today.
Thanks for calling into the Ironworx. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Did I
Dad.
win the remote?
I know that, dude.
Can't hide that voice.
How are you doing this?
I don't mean to disturb you guys or anything, but I have a cat story since we were talking about cats.
Please.
Okay, so I got the general idea that the reset, this mythical reset that none of us know what the fuck any of that means, but the reset, it just happened. It literally happened yesterday, right? We're right on the beginning of a brand new cycle within a cycle. And there were many instances of cats. So it's the cat cycle just because some animal has to represent it. So whatever. So yesterday, Orion, the star thing, the only one, there's only one. I know the Big Dipper and I know Orion. Hey, here's his belt. I'm like, oh no, he's swinging his schlong down towards me. But the moon was right on the end of his curved Tartarian helmet. If I could envision him spread out over the sky, there's his belt, there's his, it's like I could see him. He's like right there in the one spot in my garden I can take pictures in, right? And it was right on there. I'm like, oh, this is a momentous day, and then everything clicked. I was like having the worst week of my life, and then everything clicked in a shift, and it just, how they had these stages of grieving, and then you're happy, and then you're sad, and then you're crying, and then you whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I did all that in the space of a couple of days, and then I'm like, oh man, and then I suddenly got, poor people rich. I'm like, I got $500 I can spend. I got totally screwed by my job, right? So I'm to the point where I'm like, screw you back. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to celebrate the only way I can. I'm got a whole bunch of dab stuff, and I dabbed for the first time. I did 10 times the recommended amount, and I'm fine, other than, sounding a little emotional, but, I'm not, and I realized that's it. I reached the end of that cycle because it isn't, the bang for the buck isn't there. However, at the same time, the possibility of making my little fantasy dream, of going to Hong Kong and climbing up the mountain seems very, very possible. And shit, considering how much money I'm spending on fucking weed, I could buy a fucking plane ticket in a couple of years at least. So, fuck it, I can do it. I literally have a possibility that will work. And however, like Zach with the waders and the microscope, it's I'm sure the universe is going to figure out a way to do both. But I'm going to literally save what I spent on weed. And then if the universe provides more, then what the fuck? Then I'll just dab it away because what the fuck? But, it's that energy. Okay, now let's get to cats, right? Year of the cat, new energy, figuring plans out. So, climbing up mountains in Hong Kong is something that is a cool memory that I have, right? And then I noticed that a lot of the people, the Cantonese people in Hong Kong, are actually recording themselves climbing up these same trails. And then with all the Tartarian stuff, one guy called Abcat, A-B-C-A-T, is taking his drone up to the top of these mountains because all of them have trails. You can just literally get off the bus and literally climb up a mountain, get up there, get your drone, and then you're instantly zooming around in these nice cleared 4K views, and you're just blown away how nice and clear. And they're all, it's all blue sky and green islands and white sand. It's very picturesque. And then you begin to notice odds and ends. I saw, if my first thought was these mountains, the Dragonback Mountains, they're all pyramids. They're all pyramids. I got all Martini and I was all inspired. And then I'm like, man, there's an awful lot of them. There's just thousands of them. They can't all be pyramids. Maybe they are. And so, and then I'm like, well, maybe some are, some aren't, but whatever. And then on and then while I'm looking up hiking stuff, there's these super hot Chinese babes, Cantonese babes, and they're and it's them climbing up the mountains in their jogging pants and their butts and stuff, and you're like, wait, I'm not here for this. And then it's just so entrancing. They're just so cool about it. And then and then they're on the top of the mountain. It's like they climbed up the top of the mountain for a second. You're like distracted, and then hey, now I'm on the top of the mountain, and I'm like, hey, hang on a second. That's almost as if they planned it. And then I figured, okay, like so cats, right? Okay, Abcat is just that happened to be the name, and then there's all this other symbolism. Okay, so gray cats. I just put in the chat that I tattooed my gray cat on my leg, kind of like Gauguin might have done if he had tattoo equipment. So I had a stray gray cat, and he came in and was eating potato chips with us, and I tattooed him on my leg we were making homemade punk rock tattoos, right? One guy's like doing Black Flag, and I did like a peace sign and a whole bunch of shit. I did way more than I ever should have. But anyway, then I tattooed him on my ankle, so I always have him there, right? It's a live tattoo, you know. But and anytime I've ever seen another gray cat, it's like we kind of like give each other the look and the nod, right? It's like we get it. It's like I'm connected. They're all connected. And those Bombay cats with the one white patch on them, they're all black, you know, like green eyes. Yeah, and then sometimes they have a mask, and sometimes but they're all soft and they have a white tuft somewhere. It's like those ones know me the best. So I think they're all biomechanical and they're connected in terms of frequency, and then they beam up to whatever dimension they're from. And you know, if they die, it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, they got 9 lives because they're literally the Borg. I mean, they're a collective consciousness unit. You know, but that's. I might have run out of things. Okay, yeah, okay. One more thing about the Hong Kong where that Abcat and his cool, clear drone footage shows, right? I saw one. I don't think this one was Abcat. I think this was this mountain climber chick. But, you know, they stopped for a second, and it was supposed to be a quarry, right? You know, it's like, oh, here's a quarry. I'm like, it looked like one of those pyramid-type mountains. They literally had taken three quarters of this mountain away, but the size of the blocks were like exactly the same size as the ones on the pyramids. I was like, hang on a second here. I think they're literally trying to make this look like a quarry. So this is actually a excavated pyramid or a blown up pyramid, and these are just the remaining big giant rocks. And then you see these out-of-the-way islands. Abcat was the one that was doing this with his drone and everything. And these are some tricky hiking. But anyone that's fit, you know, anyone that's young and fit and is willing to take the risk, because there ain't no police. There's no Nazi Germany in Hong Kong at all. I haven't seen one single totalitarian thing at all in any of these pictures, and they're like going from their apartments like up on the top of the mountain, right? And there's nothing. There's no tanks. There's no barbed wire and shit, right? And there's no people living in cages either. So anyway, you begin to notice, it's like, man, all these different trails, and there's thousands of them. Every single mountain out of all these thousands of peaks that look like pyramids, all of them have steps. All of them have trails. Some of them have literal stone steps that go up for miles, and if you really want to exercise your ass, you need to live in Hong Kong, because all you're ever going to do is go up and down the elevator or stairs, and then you're going to get on public transportation, and then you're just going to climb stairs or trails up to the top of a mountain, and then go down the mountain, and then go swimming, and then take a taxi home for like 30 US bucks, you could, for 50 US bucks, you could literally go from your apartment, you know, climb up to the top of the mountain, go down the mountain, all in one day, and have a really good ass exercise routine, and be right there for being all fancy, dressing up for your tuxedo fashion ball thing. Okay, I guess that's all I got. But yeah, the reset already happened. Yeah, welcome to the new world. I can answer any questions if you have on that.
So Year of the Cat, we are ready. I'm ready, friend. We need a new year for damn sure.
No kidding.
2020's pretty much sucked, generally speaking.
Well, I do want to say first off, Daz, that I want to thank you for modifying your Patreon donation. Looks like you may have upped it a little bit, and we do really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's fine. And you're romanticizing my reasons for doing so because you're like, oh, he loves us more. It's like I love you the same. However, the energy I have increased the energy. Like, for example, like my job, right, owes me $700 in gift cards for doing all this extra overtime. That's like a whole paycheck, right? And they keep stalling. I have never seen something so inept. I'm like scared that, I'm to the point where I'm scared that I don't even want it at this point if you're that inept. But, however, all the energy, it's like I've got all the righteous energy. So I've just stopped it, right? So that means karma. I understand the concept of karma because of this. Because they have blocked the energy flow. The energy must flow and bounce back, right? It's like I do Patreon, and I got my bounce back because Josh said thank you, and I appreciate it. I feel like it is totally worth it, and that's the circuit is now just strengthened. It's not blocked because there was a reciprocal energy coming back. It's now a complete circuit. However, in terms of my job, there's energy that I put in the energy, and that they said I would get the energy back, and they've stalled that energy coming back, which means karma is a bitch on their end, and already all the computers start failing and everything. It's like, and I'm sitting back, and I'm literally like completely golden. It's like it's never my fault when all this shit goes down, and I'm basically not doing jack shit because karma is destroying the company because the energy blockage. Hey, I mean, that's the way it looks like. Hey, so, my strategy is, in addition to saving up for going to Hong Kong, et cetera, it's like, well, I can just direct the energy in other complete circuits like that and strengthen it. And, anytime you're extra generous, it sends up a vibration. And that's from the stainless steel rat. I'm sure Walt knows the stainless steel rat, Harry Harrison. He's like, the easiest way to forge a way under a different spaceship is to adjust the ticket so it looks like you lost money on it, because no one would ever forge a ticket to lose money. It's that concept, right? So anyway, I guess that is about as complete an answer as I can give. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you, sir. Yes. We really appreciate all you do. And
cool.
Good God, I love your energy in the morning.
Dude, I was about to say, more than anything, the money rocks. Oh my God. But dude, the energy you give us both in chat and when you call, and just I feel it even when we're not on the show. It's amazing. Thank you, brother. Love you.
Well, you're welcome, man. And I think you put way too much energy into the concept of money being meaningful. Yeah.
Right. Let's just say I love the money, but just the energy is more important than anything.
Just a couple of cups of coffee is nothing considering what you do for me. It's like, there's already an energy imbalance.
Okay.
So it's
we'll call
I'm
it.
just balancing it out.
You're definitely trying to equal it out. You have enough energy for all three of us, for damn sure.
I think about it. Since like someone like Rush Limbaugh, right? Who there's energy flow. It's like, he's getting money right and left from everything, but a lot of times he's not really giving back to a lot of people. And how can he? There's just too many people. It's like, I'm just a random listener from nowhere, and you're giving me time to say stuff, and I just happen to be weird, and you let me do it. But, there's a lot of people out there. You could be talking all kinds of, smoke monster, aficionados and stuff. There's lots of people that are willing to talk, but nobody seems to want to, which is a weird thing, right? Why don't more people take advantage of your niceness? because you let me talk. I mean, for fuck's sake. There's got to be somebody that's planned out, that got a novel, right? They're like, okay, well, it started this way. I was abducted, and then, chapter 5, the probing began. Chapter 7, oh my God, is this probing ever going to end? Chapter 10, well, you need to buy book 2 to really get the full picture. You'll know what happened in the next
Chapter
sequel.
23, really starting to dig this probing.
Daniel Brinkley, hey, I got all your prophecies. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, okay, vote for Donald Trump or whatever. It's like, that's it? That's your prophecy? Vote for Donald Trump after 30 years of being a fan? Fuck you. Sorry, someone had to say it. It's like, where's the answer? It's like, dude, you had all the answers? It's like, well, and? It's like, just be angry? It's like, I don't think so. Sorry. I love you, Daniel Brinkley. You're the best. He really is. He inspired me for so long, and now, like, hey.
And now.
Yeah. Hey, since I have your ear for a second, okay, so Zach in the Waterfall, right? This inspired a whole bunch of stuff of just synchronicities, and you kind of just figured out everything, right? All right, so the concept of aerating water. So, it puts bubbles in it, and it softens the water, etc., right? And it just makes it better, shampooing your hair and everything, blah, blah, blah. So, Zach in the Waterfall, there's this guy, Victor Schellenberg. You guys probably know more about it than me. It's just some random video that popped up next to something. It was either you or John Levi or one of these guys. And it's like, this guy years ago, supposedly not only was the Nazi Bell inventor, the guy that invented the Nazi spaceships, right? Which sounds like a total psyop, if anything. However, he did have this hydro energy technology about swirling water to purify it, and he had these bent copper pipes, right? You know how bent copper pipes are the worst thing in the world? I know you guys, you manly men, a bent copper pipe, you're like instantly panicking. It's going to leak. It's going to whatever, right? Bent copper pipes are not good, unless there's like 50 pounds of solder on there. So, but his perfectly twisted, nice thick of the original copper, not that skinny-ass copper we get these days, right? So this nice thick copper, and it's all twisted like an antler for like an ibex or something, right? There was an actual animal he had an antler from, and then he spun the water through there. His water pipes were like all bent like that, and then it came out all pure and energized and stuff. And John Levi was just talking about that, so I guess that's how it's connected. But all of a sudden, it's like, man, they made those waterfalls. Like, that's part of the technology. That's their water purification technology on a grand scale. They literally had all the lakes were pure water because the water came down from man-made waterfalls. But, because it follows this, the nature technology does it anyway. It automatically purifies, but it automatically purifies because it's a machine. It's just like a water purifier that we use, in our faucets and stuff, right? It purifies the water. It's a machine. It's not divine intervention. It literally was created, except this is a gigantic creation of it. And I think that's the key. We could purify water and extract minerals, and it's like, and everyone could do that. I saw that
video you're talking about that John had put up about the water vortex energy thing, and really intrigued me and wanted to look more into it. And then I don't know, was it Wednesday when we talked with Martin?
It has to be real because Wikipedia says he's a pseudoscientist. Anytime they call somebody a pseudoscientist, it's completely true. I would do the complete opposite. Pseudoscientist equals real. You change the word pseudo, it doesn't mean fake. It means they made it seem like you're fake.
You just need a pseudo-scientist.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about
but not Susudio.
Conversation we had with Martin. It may not have been it was a video I watched with John and Wood and Nichols talking about something Martin has come up with that the Phoenicians downloaded themselves into the water, which I haven't seen yet. I missed it completely. Have you seen that? Anything yet on that?
Yeah, I know all about that. Trust me, there's been a quantum level. It's like, man, there's been a whole new chapter that just started with the black sheep guy. Trust me, the meeting of the minds just happened. It was so momentous. I'm like temporarily stunned because I need to like slow down and get my shit in order before I can concentrate on it. But it was so important. I noted it in the video. I'm like, this is important, right? We're always going to go back to this point. And everyone's like, yep, this is it. I'm like, okay, good. I'm going to come back to it. So there is something there. It's recorded, hopefully, hope to God. So, yeah, they're already on to the next level.
After the show or something, man. For sure, send us a link.
You.
Definitely. Well, we've got
about in terms of Zach and the waterfall, it's like, man, you guys got it made. You're going to be able to
no doubt,
guarantee perfect, pure water for your gardens and drinking and bottling, whatever. Make your own glass. Make your own bottled water and stuff. Hell, make your own glass bongs and stuff. But you can literally guarantee pure, energized water because you can show it. It's like, hey, see the spiral here, and then it goes here for all these meters. Anyway,
well, that's break music.
Oh, it is.
It certainly is. Shout out to Flat Accord Music in chat. With that, that's going to wrap up first hour of the Ironworks here on Truth Frequency Radio. So stick around, stay tuned, and we shall be right back for hour number 2. Happy Friday, everybody.
That's synchronicity. I didn't even look at the time.
Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Bracing for Delta. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Hurricane Delta is a huge and powerful storm making its way through the Gulf of Mexico.
You're not expecting a Harvey-type situation. There's still expected to be very heavy rainfall amounts as much as 5 to 10 inches of rain with isolated maximum totals of up to 15 inches for parts of south central Louisiana.
Meteorologist David Zielinski with the National Hurricane Center says the Category 3 storm with 120-mile-an-hour winds is generating a deadly storm surge. It's expected to slam into the Cameron, Louisiana area this evening. The White House physician gives President Trump the green light to return to public events as soon as today. The president tells Fox News he may take another COVID test today to be sure.
The actual test, because there's no reason to test all the time, but they found very little infection or virus, if any. I don't know that they found any. I didn't go into it greatly with the doctors.
White House physician Dr. Sean Conley released a memo last night saying the president had completed his course of therapy for the coronavirus. The president says he may hold a rally tomorrow night in Florida. Meantime, he's rejecting the idea of a virtual debate next week as a waste of time. The commissioner for presidential debates, Frank Fahrenkopf, tells Fox News why a debate would need to be virtual.
The Cleveland Clinic has been advising us throughout. They went along with this decision. They've just too many questions as to whether or not we could present this with many, many people who are going to be present in Miami.
Without the president's participation, Joe Biden agreed to a town hall with ABC News. And we'll find out today who will win this year's Nobel Peace Prize. President Trump is among the many nominated. The Norwegian Nobel Committee will make the announcement at 11 a.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. Here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
Good morning to you. Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Ironworx kicking off right now.
Hello, everybody.
We are joined by our good friend, Daz Tartarian.
How would you like to know how to make the perfect cup of coffee?
Boy, would I.
Okay. So you might get some of it on the floor. So that's why no one ever does it. However, if you can somehow use centrifugal force and 2 cups, and then you can get that stream of coffee to go like 18 inches apart, and it doesn't really splash that much if you can do it right. And people, street vendors, like do it in like Indonesia and places. There's videos of they're just spinning around, throwing your coffee from one cup to another. But it makes latte. If you like have that instant cappuccino stuff, which obviously I drink way too much of temporarily, you can like really make it real frothy, and it's cool. So, however,
I gotta check that out. That sounds wild.
Yeah.
So
that's all I got on coffee, but I call it footlong coffee, and I could see a franchise, right? Okay, here's anyone want a $1 million trillion franchise idea, right? Because you can use Victor Schellenberg, because if you can spin that coffee around like 18 inches, so it's going to make it all nice and frothy, but you can guarantee scientifically you can add the energy to it. It's like energy. It's like coffee. Remember that energy drinks of the future in like the 80s and stuff? Well, remember they promised us that? You'll go to that energy drink bar and you'll say, give me a triple shot of brain booster. And it's like, and now I'm like,
only if you were at Lollapalooza. That was the only place that was really a thing.
It's like, I'm like freebasing shatter, and I can like transcend space and time. And it's like, it's like, it's a whole lot different. I don't need my brain so much as I need control over my divinely given powers of creation. It's like, can't stop the synchronicity in the creation. Okay, that's what I got on that. Thank you.
So you've been painting anything new?
Chance to or inspiration. Yeah, actually, I have been working. Okay, so I'm always working on 9 million things at once, right? And I never really complete anything. That's why I don't really sell anything. But every time in my mind. Do you remember, what was it, Dreamcatcher, and that guy has like this room or whatever, and he can escape the bad guys in his mind. He's created it. And then The Mentalist, he's his mind palace, and he creates his mind palace. If you ever watched The Mentalist with Zesty there. So anyway, so my own personal Tartarian art palace has all my murals and all my ideas in grand scope, right? So right now, for our little side bathroom, I'm doing a wall-to-ceiling about 6 foot by 8 foot piece of canvas. I'm going to do plaster corniches on the edges, and it's all going to be waterproof. And then it's just going to be oil paint of 2 elephants. And then I'm going to do the background's going to be like a bay in Hong Kong, because, all the videos I watched of the hiking and stuff, I can pretty much replicate it in a Bob Ross type way. And then I'm going to have my kind of cool psychedelic-y twisty elephants in the foreground. And Holly picked out teal and blue for these colors. It's like, okay, I know that. I'm just going to add in green and some gray for the elephants. So boom. So that's a simple painting. And at the other time, I'm like, what would be really good? It's like if some millionaire asked me to do some kind of art thing, for like something that I can like dash off in like 2 seconds, like fashion, right? Like I paint the human figure, and it's like all this fashion shit. It's like, man, I can dash that off. Hong Kong fashion, me painting Tartarian mural. It's like it all fits, right? So I'm like just putting a portfolio of this other stuff for any kind of angle to like weasel my way in, right? And it's like I created an Instagram account, and it's like it only has Cantonese people on it, or people connected to Cantonese people, and some punk rockers, right? So I've combined, my goal is to use the energy of the universe to get the Mean Jeans, which are the greatest punk rock band since the Ramones. There's the Ramones, and then everybody else, and then Mean Jeans, right? So they took over from the Ramones as the next big Led Zeppelin-y peak, right? So I want to use the energy of the universe just simply as a mechanism, as a tool, not romanticizing it. I have picked one particular band, and I want to put that energy to mix in with this energy of these people that hike around Hong Kong and are obviously wealthy. So to connect this, so some of them might, first of all, buy the band itself. They might just randomly say, hey, this band looks good. Just randomly, the energy might say, hey, this band looks good, or et cetera, et cetera. Or I can somehow connect with the universe and make it happen, even though I have absolutely no idea how it possibly could happen. I have absolutely no idea how I could even save up for a car at this point, let alone a plane ticket. But it's all going to happen because it always does, and it always has. And so the energy, I would say, if this cycle has to begin, is you already have everything that you need. It's already there. It's like, what's that movie that Philip K. Dick won? Walt, you know this, where the guy wakes up and he only sends himself an envelope, and it's got like a poker chip and a stamp, and he's like trying to figure out, wait, I gave up all my stock options for this? Oh, crap.
I know it
whatever.
too. It's been a while though. Damn it.
Yeah, and he's trying to puzzle it. He's trying to figure out what message did he send himself, by sending these knickknacks. And there's like a bottle of hairspray and a comb. He's like, what the hell am I
not
supposed to do with
memory.
this? And he
Something
makes a
like that though.
flamethrower out
Something
of it
like
or something. At the right time, and he's like suddenly he's like trusting in this synchronicity that his future self and giving him these clues, and then he weasels it all out, and then he gets that same blonde chick that appears in like all these movies that like in the X-Files Byers thing. And that it's like, wait, this chick seems to appear an awful lot. I think she is symbolic of some archetype or of something. What I think. Wow, I'm really off on a tangent. Right.
Memento.
I literally
That was it. Was that it? Memento?
Shatter. I put shatter in a hitter and smoked it because I screwed up my one dab rig because I'm such a noob. I don't even have the right type of torches. I'm like such a noob. But I've reached the peak. I can't. You remember that story? You guys know this story too, right? Just from our age group. Like Jim Morrison, he stayed up all night and he smoked an entire ounce of weed, rolling bombers all night long. And then, the romanticism is he got so high he wrote all these songs in one night because that's what getting high does. You write weird shit. Yada yada at the end. It's like, well, no, I think he reached a peak where he couldn't get any higher, and he realized, wait a minute, how now he has parameters, right? It's like now once you have parameters, you can figure out other ways to expand those parameters. They're like building blocks of your own self, on knowing yourself. Anyway, I don't know what that means, but I think I reached that point. It's like, quite frankly, it's like I'd rather just save the money. It's like, like, man, it's like I don't think it's worth it at this point. They had to drop the price really high because I thought once I dabbed, I'd be like, it's like, well, that's it. I'm gonna blast off into Terrence McKenna bill. It's like I'll do twice as much, and it's like nothing. I'm like, oh. Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's a rip-off.
Too much time on their hands. I don't know, man. I don't get it either. I mean, when I was in Oregon, I played with just about all of it, and yeah, to me, I'd rather just have some flour and be relaxed and chill. I don't need to be overblown.
I mean, I
some
get
kind
it.
of.
It's awesome. It tastes good, but considering all the time and work and expense and everything.
A lot of expense, a lot of extra peripheral crap you got to have, and then for just that one little, ooh, it tastes really great. Well, it tastes as bud. It tastes pretty fucking good.
Time to do more sit-ups or something.
Yeah, I think I'd sacrifice the terpenes flavor of a dab just for the good old-fashioned high of flour. Some people it really affects, and they just get totally wasted off dabs. I am not one of those people.
Really?
No, I'm not either.
Maybe that's a clue then. Maybe this isn't the way for me to get to that next level because I've just been smoking flower and I mix CBD and I get all different kinds and just it's like I feel absolutely fine. I can like hurt my back and then the next day I'm fine. It's like as long as I like maintain on it, but I'm like. It's like it's a crutch. It feels now like it's a nice, warm, funny blanket that's a crutch that's carrying me along. And I remember Bashar saying, so Bashar, some of you guys know who Bashar is. He's, whether he's a charlatan or not, he's just cool no matter what. He's a good entertainer. So, a group of people, they pooled their resources and they did a private reading with Bashar, and then I saw the recording of it, right? And one smart guy, he's like, yeah, what about weed, man? Bashar from other planets, what do you think about weed? He goes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's here, right? It's like, you got free will, you can do it. He goes, I just think some of you just do it too much. It's like you're not getting the full effect by doing it too much. I'm like, okay, because that's what I've also noticed. It's like, man, you can like build up a tolerance so fucking fast. It's like, man, I almost feel like John Holmes freebasing coke here, about ready to die because my addiction is like out of control here. It's like, okay, I got it, universe. It's like, and it's not even an addiction. It's like I literally now it's just a freaking mess in my art studio, quite frankly. Sorry, I'm not whining, I'm not complaining. I'm just going through this process of explaining how these feelings and these energies are guiding me to make a decision. It doesn't matter which decision I make, whether if I say tomorrow I go, what the hell did I think? I'm not giving this up. This is too much fun. Because quite frankly, I want to stop thinking these crazy, insane thoughts and mellow out for a bit and focus on doing something because they're coming so fast. It's a portion spiral energy. I can't keep up, and now it's starting to annoy me because I don't want to be part of it. For example, okay, my job, right? I whined about that for a second ago. Thanks for letting me do that. But one person actually helped me for once, right? And so, I had literally, it's so bad. I wrote the HR department and said, "You're stealing my money. Where are my gift cards? Tell this guy, my boss's boss's boss, to get his ass down to Target, buy some gift cards, and send them to me like a human being, like he promised." I wrote it a little bit more sensitively than that. But, I mean, pretty much that. I'm like, I can... And so the universe gave me an opportunity.
Issue.
Someone helped me. Someone actually helped me, actually log on to do my work because of some course, a computer glitch. And I overnighted a basket of candy from Amazon to where she works. Overnighted, I solved the problem. I gave that reciprocal energy, and everyone will benefit. Everyone in the office is going to get a candy bar on me because she helped me. And I could make that happen. How come this motherfucker, like 2 levels up from my boss, is like stalling on a meagery $700? It's like, what a fucking asshole. And I don't think anyone else got as big a bonus, which is why no one's really giving a shit. It's like, well, this guy's like got $100. Well, okay, you'll put it on the next check, right? Yeah. What if it's on the next? No one asked, what if it's on the next check? We just waiting for the next check? It's like, I need it done now, motherfuckers. It's my money. I got a right to it. But, I'm like right on the edge. It's like, I'm like pushing. I'm like Martin here. I literally took the energy that Martin has given, and they're backing down every single time. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then, they have to. I warned my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to say anything to anyone else. I guess I lied if I asked the HR department. Oops, sorry. Did you lie? Okay. But the energy is in. I know the energy is not balanced. And so I predicted that karma would bite him in the butt. And so I don't know what the heck's happened, but I know someone's head is going to roll, and it ain't my fault, and I'm sorry. But, that's how energy works. And we romanticize, someone's feelings are going to get hurt. Who cares? I'm just talking about the energy. The energy I did is not, they're not sending it back. Therefore, it's going to bounce back, and there's going to be reverberation. Because it's justified energy. It's not like, Bobby doesn't love me, he doesn't give me any attention type shit. It's like, that's free will. That's a whole different thing. It's like, this is actual transaction energy in a financial nature. I signed on to do work to get energy money back, right? So they owe it to me, and the universe that they set up owes it to me. The infrastructure, the consensus reality, that money is a so important thing. Hey, I didn't make money an important thing. They did. So, they're the ones getting the blowback from the fact
right.
That
and if the system works for them, it can work for us too.
Sorry.
They invented it to screw us over, but we can turn it around and make it work for us.
Thank you. Thank you, You're the Cat devotee, Grasshopper. The whole point. All right. Did I lose everybody?
Nope.
I was pumped up, dude. I'm like, fucking A. Yeah, you're right. They invented their system to use our energy, but guess what? We can turn that shit right around and get it back.
And the government owes me all my freaking taxes back. I didn't sign on for NASA and all the other lies and bullshit. So just give me all my taxes back, and I won't bitch about it anymore. We'll just call it even. You can do whatever else you want with everyone else's taxes. I don't care. Just give me mine back. Because my energy is not going to that bullshit lie. I refuse.
It's probably the karma peeking through the cracks every time NASA drops the ball on their fakery and their CGI.
Exactly.
Yep.
Synchronicity is going to fill in the gaps here with my little parables and stuff. And you're going to put these things together. And I'm no Martin. I don't have my own channel or anything to buy or nothing. I'm just saying that I studied this, since the 80s with synchronicity. I literally started observing synchronicity in the 80s. And then as Art Bell and then, David Wilcock and Daniel Brinkley, who I love, inspire, be inspired, and be the creator. It's like, it's the best thing ever. It's like I did it. It got me where I needed to go. It's like I'm so honored they're an elder. But, it's like, man, it's like seeing Ozzy on the reality show. Man, can you just erase that part from my brain? It's embarrassing and it sucks, and I hate that more than anything in the world. God, leave him alone. Let him be a god. Carve his face on Mount Rushmore, but don't film him all high on the couch, man. Yeah, I'll be sitting next to him high on the couch.
Dog
in real
poop all
life,
over the house.
but don't film it.
Sorry.
I mean, it's like they're trying to demasculate him, or maybe they're just correcting the energy. You know what? That's what it is. And from my perspective, I'm over here in the Yang side. I'm like, Ozzy is a rock god, and I saw him, and it was the best thing. It was the best moment of my life. I literally said, this is the greatest moment of my life, seeing Ozzy on stage. It really was. And,
I was torn. I was torn in that moment, Daz, because it was literally my first rock concert. My first concert, Willie Nelson, amazing, but not rock. Rock as you can get in country. But Ozzy, Randy Rhoads, when they hit the stage,
no, man,
dude,
me
my
too.
brain melted. What he was doing on the guitar was the most amazing thing I'd ever experienced. It inspired me to pick up the guitar, truly. And
I saw
yet there
Brad
was
Gillis.
this undertone every time Ozzy would go, raise your fucking hands. I would kind of go, oh, I don't really think I need to do that. It really felt like there was
Man,
a
that
bad
gave me
exchange of energy
chills.
going
That was
on.
perfect. God, that was awesome, man. Wow, I needed that energy. Thank you. That gave me a total boost right there.
I suspect it wasn't his first time doing that.
I'm
See,
a
that's
bit of
the
an
real
aficionado.
Ozzy. That's the real
Mr.
Ozzy,
Bond,
not
Mr. Osborne.
stuttering geezer. That's the real Ozzy. Raise your fucking hands is the real Ozzy, because he's that crowd, that power and energy, and it's all love, and it's not selfish love. It's all good love. That's the real Ozzy. That's his legacy right there. And that power and rocking out and loving everyone and fixing the rights in the world and stuff. That's
Throwing confetti out of a bucket like the fucking Harlem Globetrotters. Fucking awesome.
What?
In
Sorry,
concert, he
I'll
runs around like every now and
rewind.
again. His little midget would come out and throw water on him because he was hot and sweaty. And then, in the classic tradition of the Harlem Globetrotters, he ran over there and grabbed a bucket to throw on the crowd, but it was full of glitter. That's like the old Harlem Globetrotters switcheroo. Sorry, I'm an old guy.
Yeah, and you know what? I manifested my chance to see Ozzy after seeing that MTV concert with the midget and everything. That was the absolute literal best thing they ever did on MTV ever, was that Ozzy live concert, like way early. And it just totally inspired me. I'm like, man, this guy is just cool, and he's making it happen. Because I was a Black Sabbath fan, and like all of a sudden it's like, hey, Blizzard of Oz, cool, I'll pick this up. Hey, this is even better. So I was like right on the cutting edge of the Ozzy phenomenon.
What's your favorite Sabbath song?
Oh yeah, and Black Sabbath is, I listened to Black Sabbath yesterday. Yesterday was Heavy Metal Day. I like Xanadu. Okay, here's my idea, right? How can this fail? All I need is a rich investor, right? And then we're all set. Okay, is everyone in on it? Whatever it takes. Holly says she needs $7 million, so whatever. So whatever the number is, it doesn't matter. They offered ABBA $1 billion to reform because they knew it's going to be so popular, right? So so starting with $1 billion on down for this project as a potential, because this is ABBA popularity type level, right? Okay, so in Hong Kong, a musical remake of the 80s Xanadu, right? Which, hey, that's a Tartarian building, and they tore it down. I'm like, oh my God, how did that happen? And it's like Olivia Newton-John. It's like, well, we can just like redo it. We just redo it with like Chinese actors. It'd be awesome, and just redo it. Because have you seen The Masked Singer? Have you seen that TV show, The Masked Singer, that years ago it made masks?
When the promo shows up, I get the creeps. I've never watched it.
It's awesome. No. Turn it around, man. No. You just got to high. It's like hating Lawrence Welk for forever. And it's like, if you just take it for what it is.
It just
and
feels overly commercialized for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I'll check it out
I think they broke
on your
out of the
recommendation
system.
for
I
damn
think
sure.
we're so used to I think that's your conditioning. I think you're so used to thinking this must be the Illuminati, complete control, and it's all Satan. It's like there's some.
Oh yeah, no.
things
Well, yeah,
that-
sure. There's that knee jerk that everybody hit. No, I'm talking about more the commercialization of it, which I was always the one who turned the other way of anything that got way too popular. That was just how I was as a teenager.
Yeah, but
I always had to come back around the backside and learn some stuff
Trace
later.
Atkins album. You know, you're not going to be influenced to buy Trace Atkins and
Hey, Dad.
Dionne Warwick and all these
Right.
other people that pop up like the Love Boat.
Looks like we're about ready to hit a break.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say we're rolling up quick.
That's the commercial aspect. Hey, just buy these random people's records, you know, or go to their concerts, buy their merch.
Exactly.
You know, it's like I'm not going to do any of that, but I'm just there for the glittery lights and weird costumes and just kind of good vibes from the. It's like a frat party with like really cool people. You know, but you're not going to get any Tartarian adventures in there. But yeah, I wouldn't expect. Sorry,
I don't know.
talking.
I bet you go through that process, you're liable to find some Tartarian influences, I would suspect.
I mean, it seems like everything's just a fractal of everything.
Mhm.
It's like here's a really scary example, right? Me and Holly had just been, you know, watching the X-Files. Now I got done with a bunch of overtime. I've just been watching the X-Files, and you know, my favorite, the lone gunman. It's like we're the lone gunman, right? That's always been us, no matter how cool and Bruce Lee we might think we are. Unfortunately, we're the lone gunman level, and we'll never be higher than that. That's just our lot in life, and that's fine. And, you know, they had some pretty cool episodes with Byers and his lost love. It was really just good drama, right? You know, one of those things that kind of sticks with you. And so we watched that one, and me and Holly
I hear
had
music.
an argument or whatever.
You do. That is break music.
You know,
We got to pay up some bills. Give us a minute, please, sir.
yeah, oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's quite all right. Because we've already managed to get to the fourth. We'll be right back.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? IALife is a 99% pure CBD or seed oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to ialife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move. When you have a great melody, a song will last forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
Did you know you can listen to Truth Frequency Radio on iHeartRadio? Just download the app to your smart car, smartphone, or smart TV and get the best of TFR wherever you are.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworx. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid then believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too cattle sink, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with trivialities so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear right here, Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworx. Break clear of the fear.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are the way, we are the way, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
And welcome back. Go ahead, Walter. Did you have something to say?
Hello.
Welcome back. That was it.
Did
we
he
saying, Zach?
Do a school of music?
Nah, dude, that just all came from inside him. He's one of those people that just
He wasn't taught it like
nah.
Berkeley or Juilliard.
Unlike Randy Rhoads, who was a very musical, accomplished person who took lessons every city Ozzy stopped in when he was still alive, Eddie just jammed. He just played his guitar. Like, that's his life. He sat and played his guitar and would do things just to see what kind of noise he could come up with. Kind of like Tom Morello, just making noises and turned it into a career. I mean, what you just heard was him hammering little passages
and
on the
Valerie
guitar with
Bertinelli
his
as
left
well.
hand while he's rolling off the attack of the hammer-on with his volume knob with his right hand. So he's every hit of note you're hearing, he's got to roll it down and back up in the time, and he's got a delay set for the right repeat so that it echoes many times over so that it sounded like an organ in a cathedral rather than a guitar, because that was a guitar. That wasn't him playing a keyboard. That was all guitar. So that was kind of what he did, just sit around making noise. That's what I used to do when I got my guitar, was just do anything I could to make noise with it, beat on it, yell in the pickups, beat on it with the pull the tremolo bar off and use it as a slide over the pickups to make weird, crazy bird whale sounds. Yeah, you realize it's a very responsive instrument. Yeah. Sir, I'm sorry.
3 a.m, Shell coming in. What the hell are you doing? I'm trying to sleep in here. That's not even music. What the hell?
Precisely.
I love it.
Exactly. I agree completely.
The mummer. Oh, that's great. See, I've always played acoustic. I never got into the making weird noises on the electric.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with Ace, being a Kiss fan, and Ace made some interesting noises, and his guitar could fly and blow up and smoke out of the pickup and stuff. So that was even cooler when you were 9. But then, like I said, seeing Randy Rhoads on stage was like, okay, I want to do that. And I went and got a guitar probably that next week and realized I couldn't do that. And it sat in the corner for years until I finally said, hey, I do want to play. And now I do.
What were you saying, Daz?
I'm just saying, yeah, that we all have our little, rock star fantasies, and while I'm so, I love your rock star origin story. All of you guys, all of your origin stories are rock solid, awesome. I could do a comic book if I had time on all you guys and make you superheroes, and all of the listeners here. We have all of our own cool rock stars.
Fucking A, sir. Everybody. I can't wait to hear your origin story fully.
Identity. And I didn't want to forget my dad, right? So yesterday I got a letter from my dad in England, right? And he lived in El Salvador for a long time after my folks split up, and I ended up being an American. When we were living in Hong Kong. So, what was I going to say?
Got a letter from your dad?
Yeah, so it began the beginning of a new energy cycle, because everything kind of clicked into place. That's like right at the end of the cycle. I watched that UAP timed video, and then I ended up watching the series backwards. I didn't even know I was watching part 3, and then I ended up watching part 2, and somehow I watched it backwards, and it was all time and everything. And I went back to time because, and now I'm going to get to the point, because my dad played flamenco guitar and banjo, and I remember in Hong Kong, he's like playing, Fernando, Aber Fernando. He could play that, and he was very musical, and he was in a skiffle group in England in like the 50s, like a skiffle group, like before rock and roll type thing. And in his letter, he references that. He's like, don't forget, I was in a cool skiffle group called the Hurricanes. I'm like, dude, you're the cool. I'm like, it's nice when an elder is cool, right? Yeah, it's like that's good energy to gear yourself towards. He didn't just say, that was the stupid kid stuff. It's like, no, it's like he's still proud of it. It's like, cool, rock on, Dad. Yeah, and he still plays guitar. It's cool. So shall we, and
that's a style of guitar I would love to learn, man. That's like I've become a lot less of a speedhead and more of a, I guess, more wanting to be rounded. Trying to learn finger picking. Would love to play the banjo. And flamenco. That's crazy. That's a next level skill that I can't even touch.
You could if you practiced at it. That's the whole reason why I've had like 4 different guitars, and every incentive, I got long fingers. I could totally do this. I can like play This Boy by the Beatles and like Smoke on the Water, the easy part, right? Like everyone does. I just never took the time to do the next level. So, that's my sad ass story. But you know what? I don't really want to, because I don't want to take the magic. I don't want the curtain revealing all the mechanics of it, because I just want to romanticize the music. I don't need the mechanics of the music. I need the mechanics of how to change reality, but I don't need the mechanics of why someone dances or, wears a dress and dances across the floor. It's like, don't pull the curtain back on that. I want that to be theater. I want to romanticize that part. So that was my point.
And I'm over here playing in chat. I'll let it be dead air. My apologies. I'm playing in chat with everybody. Mike, Jen, sending friend requests, all kind of fun stuff I shouldn't be doing on a live show. My apologies.
This is just shamanism. What Terrence McKenna and all those people are saying. They're talking about shamans. All they do is annoy people, and then they pause and they make them reflect. This is all gurus do. They just piss you off, and then you're a hypocrite. I saw you at McDonald's eating a cheeseburger, and they're like, yeah, fuck you. It's like, well, you're no guru. And then you go back, and then you get it. It's like, oh, wait. Or some, you hear these endless stories like that. It's like, oh, they're all frauds. It's like, no, they're not. They're not all frauds. They're just, you just think they're all, your version of divinity is, you don't take into effect that your human body is going to be human. That's part of the divine thing that's been taken out of our culture, but it's all the same thing. We're all getting there in our own path, and you don't have to be anything except yourself. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. You know what I was talking about, cannabis and everything. The only way to really make it work and everything is you just got to do a little bit of this, and then do a little bit of that, and then do a little bit of this and edible here and whatever. And you can scientifically make yourself into a robot that's like a superhuman, but man, that's way too much work. You're like Dolph Lundgren, right? Like Rocky 3. You can be Dolph Lundgren using cannabis, and I swear to God, you can enhance your performance to astronomical levels of thinking and whatever. But I think there's a cost to that at a certain point where it's the peak of the wave. You got to have the trough of the wave, right? I mean, you have to have a pause. Like, notice how I say something weird, and then everyone's like, huh? There's like a pause, and that's only it's supposed to be that way. That way it gets the point across or something. So it's just mechanics. That's mechanical. That's no romanticized. It's not talent. That's nothing. That's just a mechanical resonance type thing, right? So we can use these actual non-romanticized mechanical things, like speech patterns and vibration and light and these type of things that we can control, because hell, all we do is just listen to sound and see light. I mean, that's pretty much all we do all the time, and then sense things, But, like with the cannabis thing, it's like, I know I could just go down to the store and immediately be somebody different, because if you want to change reality, the easiest way to change reality, like say, I'm sure some of you have had an ex. Okay, what's the first thing your ex does? She like gets like a different haircut or something, right? She changes herself physically in some way, or gains new confidence, or just some new aspect to herself. Just to her, she's like, well, I'll show him I'll be different. It's like, but literally you are different if you make an action to be different. So it's the same type of thing, change the resonance. So I know at any time I can like get super high just by, whatever. For a couple $100, I can like be super stoned for a long ass time if I don't smoke in between doing that. And to me, that's a pretty good deal in terms of the resonance frequency. So, versus, I can like be in the twilight zone coming up with funky fresh shit every day. It's like, but I can't act on any of the funky fresh shit. It's like, I got so many freaking ideas. I can't get any of them done. I'm like, I need to get out of the guru zone because I'm not ready for it. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't read any of the spiritual Buddha stuff, but, the Satori, that's like, I got Satori. Literally, I got an instant Satori because my job is to deal with certain consumer products. And the first one I got yesterday, I still am doing my job the whole time, right? And the first one I got yesterday was called the Satori. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that name is a romantic name. And then I looked it up, and it's called sudden enlightenment. I literally got sudden enlightenment yesterday by the word sudden enlightenment that I used to think meant was just a word, was just a name, somebody's name, Mr. Satori, right? I didn't know it. Literally, it was a Buddhist term that meant sudden enlightenment. I literally got synchronicity of sudden enlightenment yesterday. Is it just a coincidence? Or, I mean, and shit like that happens all the time. It's like, I want that to stop temporarily, take a fucking vacation, because it happens so much. Okay, the X-Files. Here's, I can't reach these extremes anymore. Like the X-Files, right? Me and Holly watching the X-Files. It's our one joy in life. And she has never seen the episode that was right after the Byers one, where his love gets abducted, right? The lone gunman. And she's never seen the episode with the Frankenstein thing and Cher. Now, these are her two favorite things in the entire world. How in the hell did she not know? And it's as if her brain got wiped. And then she walks in, there's like tears running down her face, and I was crying. I was like, and I'm not really a Cher fan or a Frankenstein fan, but I assumed she's watched it 1 million times or something, and she hadn't even seen it. She was like blown away. This is the best episode ever. And then the same day, my favorite punk rock band, the Mean Jeans, somehow I missed that they put out a new album like at the end of last year. I know stuff happened, but it's a diss on NASA. Literally, it's called Gigantic Psych. Mean Jeans, Gigantic Psych. It's got the NASA logo with Gigantic Psych on it. And my dog, I'm like giving him a piece of Marmite toast, and he like leaned over, and he was about ready to take it. I just let go, and then he turned his head and said, nah. My dog gave me a psych and his piece of soggy toast at the couch. My dog gave a psych, and my favorite punk rock band I temporarily forgotten about has that song, and they have a song called Basement Animal. That's me. Every single thing. I was thinking about getting a haircut, and it's literally a song. Hey man, just a trim, don't buzz me, and don't buzz me. I'm like, oh my God. And everything about the Mean Jeans is about party hard. I'm like, man, dude, when I'm ready to party, I'm going to party hard. I'm a party animal. But I think I need that up and down, not just a party animal 24/7, but every single synchronicity. And that's just something that I can remember off the top of my head. I mean, what would you do if you had all this constant synchronicity?
Flow with it. That's what it's all about. The flow. Using it, letting you know that you can do it, and just use it the right way.
Yeah, so I am using it. I'm trying to get the Mean Jeans to use that energy if I'm flowing with it. So that here we go. If Fat Mike from Fat Records can fund a concert in Hong Kong or a video shoot with the Mean Jeans, and then I'm doing a mural right in the background, right, in a mall in Hong Kong, the big Tartarian. Hong Kong's all Tartarian, right? They just put a modern face on it, but in the inside of everything, it's posh, right, Tartarian. So in a big posh mall, we'll set it up. We'll have punk rock, the Mean Jeans there, and they basically got a cool punk rock anthem. I forget what it is, but it's all hey, shut the fuck up and let's just all party instead, or something. It's like something that we could all Ramonesy get behind and and pogo before we go type thing. And it's so this is definitely possible. And then tie it in like with Hong Kong fashion shows and stuff, right? So that there's just hot chicks and just good times had by all, and someone's funding it because someone could film it and merchandise it, whatever. I don't care, but just get me there to paint this freaking wall with the Mean Jeans and all my friends. That's part of the deal because hey, I need a blunt roller. I need a dab cleaner dude. I got so many jobs. The entourage. I'm Eddie Van Halen. Thank you, Eddie Van Halen, because your true legacy is I want a fucking brown M&Ms, and I do want these people in my entourage, and it's first class all the way, or the whole deal's off. I want my goddamn $700, you motherfuckers. Right? They use that energy, see?
There it is. Frickin' A, dude. Frickin' A. Dude, I'm going to have a brown M&M for sure right dead center of our show picture today. Speaking of show picture, the Adam Meakin sent you a picture, sir, which I will also include in our show description of the Dragonback, I guess, Islands?
Mountains.
That you were talking
what?
about? Well, listen, yeah, mountains, islands,
mode.
whatever there. I'll send you the picture. I mean, I'll send it to you and it'll be in the chat.
Mountain.
So shout out to the Adam Meakin. Hopefully he'll be joining us later on this afternoon over there on our Have No Sphere show, which
I love it.
That's about 11 hours.
11 hours, yeah, thereabouts.
Early.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, we'll kick off a little early. It may not be much of a focused introduction, so much the way it is here on the Ironworx, because we may just kind of ease right into it, just trying something new, something different. Because I don't like starting off at 5, because I feel like we just kind of wait around then until 5 kicks off. I mean, technically, we could start earlier. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
And that makes it easier for some of our time traveling friends who are a little ahead of us there along the plane.
We'd have to stay up late just to catch a glimpse.
Shout out Arwen. Speaking of time traveling, I was reading the chat earlier. Great stuff. Great stuff, everybody in chat. Always keeps me distracted. Lots of dead air when I'm reading chat. Awesome. Thank y'all. I love it.
And who are we going to have on this evening? We actually have a guest joining us. A guest, not really a guest. We're having a returning family member joining us.
Family. Yeah.
That's Martin
Fact,
Leake, by the way.
I was going to say Daz will be excited. I didn't know who was going to say it or not. Daz will be excited because it'll be the Martin Leake. We'll talk about the wet Phoenicians.
Oh, good. That means he can get you up to date on what the latest thing is. It's a mind blower.
Right. Well, when I heard it, just when Wood and Nichols and John said it, I'm like, oh my God. I had to literally pause the video and go, oh my God. So yeah, I can't wait.
Was Dr.
Yeah, so I figured the energy's at its peak tonight. So tonight the energy's at its peak. Whatever it is, I guess Martin's the one that's gonna give us the clue to the next thing. I guess that's all I got to say. So I'll let you guys chat. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey, love you, Daz, man. Thank you so much for all the love and energy. Truly.
Definitely.
No, don't let him go. Don't let him go.
Too late.
I heard it.
He ran off.
What'd you ask, Zach?
Zach asked if Dr. John D was going to be on tonight.
Oh, is that this week? I thought that was next week. Damn it, I'm off a week. I'm so sorry.
Well, I don't remember. I remember we did discuss it at one point.
I know. Wednesday is like a blur to me.
I didn't even hear you sneak in here, Adam. Welcome.
Welcome, Adam Meakin.
Good morning. I've only come to say goodbye, really. I know. Sorry, it's been one of them. I'm
a
bit sideways today.
So is this the week for John, or was that next week? Because I inadvertently just jumped in Wednesday and said, hey, Martin, come hang out. So I don't want to step on somebody
else. Not a bad thing. because I checked with John. I've not had a response, so
Okay,
that's never
cool.
a good thing.
I didn't want to mess it up.
So it's probably quite fortuitous bad planning.
Well, we'll make it all fall in place somehow. You
Yeah.
know, the best laid plans for us are not to make them.
I can say nothing new there, mate, is there? It's often the best show when we don't know what we're doing. Yeah, I just wanted to say on Daz, I jumped in earlier because I'm feeling bad, so I wanted to stay and get a bit of energy off Daz. That's why I sat there. But it was weird. He was talking about walking up in China, and they're pictures I have that I got sent by one of my students, which are young, posh Chinese girls that love to go hiking. So if you could forward those pictures onto him, I'd appreciate it.
I will both send them to him, and we'll have them included in the show picture. If that's cool for me to use them in the show picture.
Yeah.
Cool deal.
I'm sure Lisa
Yeah.
would love it. It's called the Dragon's Back, those mountains up there, which is cool.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get Happy Trails in, Walter. We've kind of run over that time.
That's fine.
And I know I played it a couple times when we first kicked off here 3 years ago. This should be, I think, episode 198 or 298. Crap, I've already lost count. 2 shows a week I have to count, and I can't keep up with it.
Right.
But I think we're at 297, 298, something like that. We should be hitting 300 here really, really, really soon.
Thank you all. Love you all. Chat.
Yeah.
Family here. We'll see you all this afternoon for sure. Come check it out. We'll have Martin and possibly a house full. You never know what can happen.
So Nemo's in chat, and I'm a big fan of the term fucking A. I say that a lot when I get excited. Fucking A. But then when I hear somebody else say it, I always say, well, fuck a B, it's got more holes. Anyway, Nemo passed that along to me in Skype earlier in the week. Just wanted to reiterate that. Anyway, this has been another exciting episode of the Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zach. And Adam, actually, this week, and our good buddy Daz hanging out with us. We'll see you right back here next week for the Ironworks, or this evening for Have No Sphere on our YouTube channel. Anyway, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.